Newcastle Knights out here at McDonald Jones Stadium. And there it is, in memory of Kyle Turner. And as we've said today, if you need any help at all, if you're doing it a bit tough, Lifeline is a good start point to open a conversation. So on that note, the focus is now football, South Sydney and the Newcastle Knights, and this feels like a semi-final.
Yeah, it sure does, and that man there, Adam Clune, a big job today. He comes into this side. I've had a bit to do with him when he was back at the Dragons, and he's a football student. He knows about the game, but it's a big test for him today.
We're underway, first game on a Sunday, round 25, and Rabbitohs make the first tackle 5 metres out from the Knights line on Saifiti. Now this could be a very tough opening set. Thompson, good metres. 3 and 4 in the tackle there for the Rabbitohs. He attracted the entire front row. Elliott tipping on. Elliott was very vocal. You saw in the pre-match address. He's missed a lot of football this year, but he's a leader. Doesn't have to have captain next to his name. There he is with the ball. And they've managed to get through to tackle number 4. No Jackson Hastings today, as Shane has highlighted. Clune into the side. First NRL match for the year. And it is Gamble who provides the first kick of the day. The battle of the wingers today. There's a 12 battle of fullbacks, Mitchell and Ponga, but you got the try-scoring efforts of Johnston and Young going head-to-head today. The try-scoring abilities of the centres going head-to-head today. Graham right on cue, good run. Post-contact meters. He must have made 15 to 20. That's quite an extraordinary run. Cook on to Arrow. Good front-on stuff there from Fitzgibbon. Newcastle's attack has been fantastic through their streak, but their defence, second only to Penrith. In that period, Tass tackled there. Enterprising first set from South Sydney. With it as hosts, they'll take them up to tackle number 5. There's some kick pressure coming. The Knights have the best record of not conceding tries off kicks. Ilias, it's covered up there. Ponga does the job. And the Knights are back in possession.
Yeah, really good set from South Sydney. Their first set of the game, how powerful it was. Get a good kick on it now. They'll just roll their sleeves up and make the Newcastle Knights come off their try line. The thing that with Jackson Hastings not being in the team is mostly, obviously, his kicking game, but also his voice, his consistency. He's been there for most of the games this year, and not having him out there and getting the team around the puck, that's the biggest loss. Adam Clune will do his job, but that voice, that consistency.
Yeah, they've had him. He hadn't missed a game. He started every match. Jackson Hastings, the only not to do so, Shane, through the season. And there he is watching from the sideline. I don't think he makes it comfortable for him, just looking at that shot. Opening minutes, he's chewing the fingernails already. Down to Mitchell. And a run back. Good position to start a set. 15 inside their own half. Johnston comes in. And Johnston is levelled by Fitzgibbon.
We saw in the Newcastle Knights dressing room up on a whiteboard about their kick chase +3. So they wanted to be really good on their kick chase and their first 3 tackles. Well, their first 2 set haven't been good at all.
Cook almost right away. Lost it and got it back. Could have almost been a restart of the tackle count. Now 2 tackles left. Murray, Walker, out the back. Mitchell with it. The left side of the Rabbitohs. Knights know how lethal it can be. Last tackle, and Walker, Ilias, they'll try their luck with a kick. Campbell Graham's there, and doesn't get anywhere near it. Best will race back to the 20-metre line. Best is on to charge. It's an amazing statistic this year. The Knights have conceded only 7 tries off kicks. Like, that's just unheard of in the modern game.
Yeah, really interesting, because Marju, he's a powerful athlete, but he's not tall and he doesn't really get off the ground on kick reception. Done a really good job on escort.
What a start of the game. Now Saifiti straight through the middle. Elliott, Knights on the front foot. Thompson in support. Boyd, by having scored his first career try last week against the Dogs. Gamble, Newcastle chatters up. taken over the sideline. South will claim momentum. Gee, it's calling hell pretty quickly.
He was finished and then he pushed him over.
Well, we saw one of these in the West Tigers game as well that actually came with a penalty and they kicked the winning goal. On this occasion, there is momentum. He is still moving as the trail comes in to touch and go. The referee's made a decision that he was on the ground.
Yeah, well, it's a call that has to be made. You can't, you know, you may disagree with it, but it's a call the referee has to make on the spot. But you'd say that Young was looking to, you know, he was getting up. The Souths finished their work anyway. It opens the door for Gagai, a former Rabbitoh, and playing game 265 today. Gamble, centre field, short pass. Elliott almost squeezed between defenders there. This will bring the crowd right into the game early here. Clune and Ponga, lovely sharp work. That is as good a left side attack. I'll say that's South Sydney at their best. Left side. Marju on the end of it. But the hands are something. They're immaculate from the Knights attack.
Yeah, what a start. The first time they get down on the South Sydney try line, they come up with a beautiful set play. They get to the middle part of the field and then it's beautiful hands. Clune just does his job, gets it to the main man in Kalen Ponga, and he goes deep into the line, and then there's some silky passes on the end that put the winger away, Marju. A great start for the Newcastle Knights in front of their home crowd. Go to your guns, go to your weapons, and they get some points.
Yeah, Marju scores it. What an acquisition he's been, but I mean that in comparison, that may as well be Mitchell sweeping in, Walker passing, you know, Graham to Johnston. I mean, it may as well be different names. That's what the Rabbitohs do so well left side, and there's the Knights pulling it off to perfection. Marju has another one. He's only 2 behind Dominic Young. Oh, no, he's 4 behind Dominic Young. He's had a great year. 16 tries, 130 tackle busts.
And it was great skill, obviously, that man on screen, Kalen Ponga and Clune, but it was the timing of the run. Everyone on song and down to the coaching as well. First set, that would have been something that they practiced all week. When we get a good field position opportunity, run this shape, and they come up with good points. So well done to the whole club.
Ponga, first shot of the day from the sideline. Already had a big win, NRLW. Jesse Southwell kicking the goal after the siren. Let's go down to Darcy McDonald. What a buzz. What a way to start for the Knights.
Good afternoon, Andrew, Shane and everyone tuning in. Glorious conditions at a sold-out McDonald Jones Stadium. 19 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, and only a slight swirling breeze, but it's not really favouring either side in this first half. The Knights are chasing 7 straight wins for the first time in over 20 years, and Coach Adam O'Brien spoke this week about the players wanting to bring the crowd into the game early, and that Greg Marzu try has certainly done that. The fans are up and about for this one.
Yes, are they what? So Beattie will bring it back. Head-to-head, though, the last 14 meetings of the clubs, the Rabbitohs have won 12. Yet overall, the Knights' record was good, 27 wins from 46, but it's been a while since they've had any sort of dominance. This is one of the rare times lately they've been above South Sydney on the ladder. Crossland and Ponga. 1 foot step. South Sydney's defence comes under the microscope again. Elliott tipping on Clune and Fitzgibbon. They haven't missed a beat to start in attack. With Clune in for Hastings. Elliott working hard early. Ilias first in there with a tackle. Ilias in a milestone game today, the South Sydney halfback. 50th NRL appearance. He lasted only a minute here last year. Was off. Mitchell to bring it back for the Rabbitohs. With left arm briefly free there.
Well, we talk about the loss of obviously their halfback, and we just saw there on that occasion Kalen Ponga coming in and doing a little bit of the kicking. It's something that he can do. Does he do it a lot? Probably not when you've got Jackson Hastings in the football team.
Offload there came from Tane Milne, had a bit of daring to it. They've thrown something at the Knights so far. They're down by 4. But the Rabbitohs' attack looks pretty slick early as well. Arrow. Now Cook on for Murray. Ramrod straights. Running back behind the markers, puts them in position for an attacking kick. 9 minutes into the contest. You're watching this exclusive live and exclusive on Fox League. Rabbitohs Knights, high ball to the corner. Here's Young. Johnston with a catch. Kept alive. Now it's a lottery. Batted back. It's a knock on Newcastle.
Knock on here. Tyson Frizzell.
Ooh, that
Put it
was
on scrum.
tense.
Here.
It was
Clock
aerial
on,
stuff
South Sydney
there.
Fed.
Yeah, Alex Johnson.
Challenge
They put
over.
the kick out. He's a much taller man. Alex Johnson just gets up and competes really hard for the football, throws it back inside, and they do come up with a knock on.
Alrighty, so they have to cop a bit of heat themselves now, the Knights, having scored the first try. What does South throw at them here? They're all loaded up on the open side, as we often see these days. Winger to feed the scrum. Here they go, the Rabbitohs. Ilias, Big Mitchell, the front rower, takes one up, and that's solid defence, better than solid. That's concrete wall stuff. Now Cook, Arrow, run at them. Let's see where Walker or Mitchell chime in here. Cook has a little look, goes right. There's Ilias, propping off the rights. Ilias held up in goal.
Penalty.
Oh, against the man playing the ball.
I think there was obstruction. There was a lead runner. May have taken a Newcastle defender out of play. We'll see on the replay. It just looked a bit too easy for Ilias as we go from this dummy half. There's a lead runner.
On the line.
Yeah, well,
Interesting.
Well, it's Mitchell's job not to make any contact with the defender. Boy, that was a classy fall to the ground, I thought.
Yeah, it was a soft play in the end, and you know, poor execution from South Sydney. You don't get too many opportunities on the opposition's try line, and that was wasted on tackle 2.
Yeah, Thompson with it. What a big improver he's been, Leo Thompson. He's now a starter every week for the Knights.
And the dummy half, Phoenix Crossland, what a season he's had. Jaden Brayley out early, he's come in, and ex-halfback done a great job.
Ponga, one missed tackle. He beat Graham. Marju's on his way again. The Knights too good. They're running hot. These are the glory days for Newcastle. Ponga finds Marju. Have a look at this crowd. Have a listen to this crowd.
Well, the coach and Darcy spoke about earlier, they wanted to get the crowd involved. Well, they're very much involved. But that man there, Kalen Ponga, have a look at the footwork here. Phoenix Crossland goes to Clune, out the back again. He just comes off his left foot. A beautiful bit of footwork, and then he finds his winger, and definitely Marju is not going to be stopped from there. Ooh, that's classy play. Clune again, onto Ponga. Just beats Campbell one-on-one, and then finds his winger. That's beautiful play.
Ponga beats one of the better defensive centres in the game, and Campbell Graham with one lethal step. Look at the fans behind you, Shane. Up they go.
Yeah, the thing is that they would have been watching a lot about Kalen Ponga, and his favourite little bit of footwork is to get you to stand still and skip to your outside. On that occasion, he's just gone bang off his left foot and beat him on the inside.
There's no shortage of South fans here either. They sat stunned. Love the shot of the ball boy running alongside. He was clapping them all the way to the line. Wow. Marju tried double inside 13 minutes. Don't worry about the Dom Young, Alex Johnston show on the wing. Marju's got 2. This for a 10-0 start. The Knights have scored the most points in the competition in the opening 20 minutes of games this year. And so it continues today. Ponga's done from 2, but it is Newcastle leading Souths by 8 points to 0.
Well, Greg Marzu got the try, but what about the break and the pass from Kalen Ponga? The Knights' 6-game winning streak has a lot to do with the form of their superstar fullback. He had just 8 try assists in his first 10 games of the season, but has now got 12 in his last 7 games. It seems ruling himself out of Origin was the smartest thing Ponga could do, because even coach Adam O'Brien said he is in career best form and he's spearheading Newcastle's charge for the finals with plays like that, which set up Greg Marzio for his second try.
Yeah, very much a genuine try assist that. He's 20th of the year. And take 3 on Saifidi running back from the kickoff. What a good swap it ended up for the Gold Coast and Newcastle. Chris Randall's been outstanding for the Titans this year. They got what they wanted. And Newcastle got Greg Marzio, and he's sitting on a season like he's having with 17 tries.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we just look back. What an important penalty that was on tackle 2 down on the try line. Newcastle Knights go all the way up the field and get points.
Finish that Titans night swap. Marzio leaving opened the door for Lofty Khan Pereira, who's emerged as one of the rookies of the year. Last tackle play here. Ponga Knights right on song. Kicking long and high. Oh, damn! Allowing it to bounce. What's doing there? Milne and Mitchell. You are kidding. The Knights are swarming up on the South Sydney fullback as a result.
Well, that's all the pressure, the scoreboard pressure. The opening of this half has just been all of Newcastle. They started off well, South Sydney, but since that first set, it's just been Newcastle relentless into their kicking game.
They looked at each other. And Mitchell had a job to get back to the field of play. Cook. He had run, but the marker did the job there. Tyson Gamble. There you have it, 61% of the ball so far. The home side's way. Murray falls onto his knees. Look at how quick to play the ball is. You blink and you miss it with Murray, and sets up the kick. Just subtle, but he's so good at it. Ponga fielding the ball to bring it back. There's the skip. He's around Graham again. Ponga, the Kalen Ponga show. You don't want to miss the moment of this. That's a run there. Now Clune.
That's a player. We beat him on his inside last time, and this then he went to Campbell and he said, I got you on your inside shoulder, now I'm going the outside.
So now Gamble, fell into Walker there, but bounced straight back to his feet. This could be 3 tries in a moment. Newcastle, Gamble, Thompson, short. Kaloa Matangi, important tackle there on Elliott. Now it's Gamble holding it up. Gagai's a tackle buster. He almost got over the top there of Tass. 12 tackle busts last week by Gagai against the Bulldogs. Last tackle play, Gamble caught. Now the kick and chase. The kick and chase, and it's Arrow,
Round the south.
who has to force the line dropout.
Roll up.
And it just shows the Adam Clune, just really smart players. We look at Ponga, goes to the outside of Campbell. As you said, Vossi, he's one of the best centres defensively. We know about his attacking game, but he's up against Kalen Ponga in red-hot form. And now as we watch Adam Clune, just gets the ball, last tackle, smart halfback, just puts it in the goal and chases.
South's not going short either. They go over the 40. Marzio to bring it back.
Sign of respect.
Yes, more pressure here. With it is Thompson. You said it in the opener. Everyone is in form at Newcastle. Everyone. 1 to 17. A play out of their skins. Have a look at this. Gagai flick past to no one, but will get a result. Souths have taken it over the sideline.
Your ball. Play the ball.
Oh, I think he should have gone himself. He should have backed himself. I think he scores in the corner if he gets down. He was looking for his winger. He was in space. A nice little spike line there. Gets on the outside of his own man. And Dom Young had gone back to the inside. Oh, he probably doesn't get there. Latrell looked after him there, but a bit of fortune. They get the football back.
And they do. They can put a play on straight away here. Crossland and then Elliott. What about his middle forward play early in this match? He's just about the busiest player out there in the opening to the contest. Now the Knights back right side. Clune and Frizzell. Set restart Newcastle. They are going crazy here, the Knights fans. I don't know how you're going to bottle it. If they get another one here, South Sydney are against 13 players and 23,000 fans. Crossland and Clune that time. Good tackle, Graham on Fitzgibbon. Quick play the ball. He's let one rip. He's put some fizz on that. And it missed the old Rex Mossop. Past the ball board. Missed the board. It hit the sound technician out the back.
Yeah, his footwork and pass selection has been outstanding for the first 18 minutes. He just gets that wrong. He knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to get it to Marju one-on-one on the outside, but the pass was just too big.
So South Sydney so thankful to have the ball back in their hand now. They'd like to have it for 5 minutes. This is just a full-blooded assault from the home team that has produced 2 tries. Glow-Matangi. Good tackle, Clune, and gets a penalty. Second man in there. South needed that. Talking about Elliott, he's had 9 runs of the football in the first 19 minutes. For 67 metres and 8 tackles. And he's a man who hasn't been on deck all year. Adam Elliott, 14th game for the season. Now South Sydney, their turn to try and challenge. Hame Sele back today. So is Tavita Tola. Sele on the run there, the first interchange. And also throwing Tallis Duncan in. But this is interesting. 20 minutes in, 19 minutes in. And the changes rip through the South forward pack. Ilias over the top. Now it's their turn. Milner's strong. So is the Knight defence. Great shot in the corner. Fitzgibbon was there. South through 3 tackles. Ilias, Duncan, right up to the line to Murray, needed one more. Walker in the dummy half. Out he goes, Walker. Last tackle South, right on the goal line. Not much room between defence and attack here. Cook's got room just to get it in goal. Marju takes it dead. Doesn't guarantee repeat set, but the gap was too big to ignore there for Cook to put the kick in.
Yeah, have a look at this. Try saver back on the inside. When you're going good and you're winning football games, we can talk about the Kalen Ponga factor, but on that occasion it was Lachlan Fitzgibbon came up with a try saver on his try line on his opposition winger.
Stay behind.
So the Knights go the short drop out. We saw the Nathan Cleary straight down the middle short kick. Knights go more conventional out to the wing. It's been knocked on by Johnston. The Knights get the result, and there you have it. There's no such thing as guaranteed repeat set.
Oh, smart play from Dominic Young. Got him behind the South Sydney player and just got it, batted it back, and obviously caused a knock on.
Now Dominic Young. I hope you're enjoying the start of this one on the Sunday ticket. Just 2 rounds after this before the finals. And this is great stuff by Newcastle. Crossland onto Elliott, another run. Solid the tackle of Sele, right on halfway. Ponga with time to kick. Conventional flights. I won't be letting that one bounce. Mitchell is with it. Goes long across to Johnston. And on this Sunday, where after this one, we go from Newcastle to Canberra for the Raiders against the Bulldogs. And Sunday night with Matty John. So we've got your day and night all sorted. NRLW was fantastic. Knights and Broncos, what a finish. Great afternoon for rugby league. Ilias, quick hands. And that was really good from Walker to Mitchell. Gives us a glimpse of what he's capable of. Tass, Walker, Ilias. Duncan is there. Last tackle, Rabbitohs. Cook to Walker. He'll look for Johnston again. Young is underneath it. Young is there. It's popped up and it's taken dead from Gagai.
Checked. I think it's. Can you check, G? I've got a goal line we're going to start with. Check if there's a knock on off. I
just want to make a change as quick as they can while this is happening.
Goal line at the moment.
Ooh, I don't know.
They're checking, mate. They will check it.
That may have been Johnston's hand in there.
Yeah, it'd be really close. Off Johnson.
There's a knock on. It's a change over last tackle.
It's gone against South Sydney. Can't disagree with that.
Let's play the
Well, the Newcastle Knights have been so dominant in these first 20+ minutes. To lead 8-0, South Sydney, the coach, will be really just keep in the fight. You'll get some opportunities, you get some good field position, but when we do get it, we've got to make sure we execute to 100%. We can't have lead runners taking out the opposition players and handing over the football.
That is quite sensational down this broadcast side of the ground to have Johnston against Young, given where they are in the try-scoring race. And Johnston has the bye next week, so he needs to bank something today. 21 tries for the season. Dom Young sitting on 20 tries. Asako getting another one yesterday on 21. But Young v Johnston head-to-head. Fantastic. Ponga and Fitzgibbon. Crossland. Back to Clue. And this one is Mitchell with it, but oh, flick from Mitchell. Johnston goes wide. Tass with it. On the audacious side, producing a couple of passes inside their 10. Host braces for impact. Crossland and Saifiti. I feel Saifiti might have got a piece of Crossland, to be honest. Walker off Mitchell. Able to beat one. Now the Rabbitohs keep it alive. Johnston. That's pretty adventurous in 3 tackles, what South Sydney just executed. The team down by 8. Murray, Ilias, Kaloa Matangi along for Graham. Now Milne's on his way. Graham not in position. Now he is through the hands. Play on. Nice get to the loose ball. Fitzgibbon is everywhere in the big plays in defence.
Yeah, it was a big play for Fitzgibbon to get back and get on the loose ball, but it was Bradman Best who just rushed out of the line. Newcastle have been so good to stay in their defensive systems.
Everywhere, the replay box. In the meantime, Newcastle up to halfway. Gamble. Tyson Frizzell. 236th match today for Tyson. What a campaigner. On now for Hetherington. Into the match he comes. Another one who broke the duck in terms of tries for the season last week against the Dogs. Gamble, a bomb on the last. Johnston's way, close to the sideline. Young the catch. Back it comes for Walker. South played that cool. The ball close to the sideline. They forced the Knights' hand there.
And Dob Young played it real cool. Just jumped up, batted the ball back inside. Unfortunately, it went to Cody Walker. Probably one of the areas of improvement in Newcastle Knights, especially over the last 6 weeks, is their ability to get through their sets, their completion rate. At the moment, 11 from 14. It's probably not their best that they've ever done, but it's consistent, getting down to their end, getting to their kick.
Illis is going to kick on the 3rd, but it's come off the side of the boot. It's out on the full. He was looking to get a 40-20, and he absolutely misfired. Tactic great, execution sadly 0 out of 10.
Yeah, you're spot on. Young halfback trying to make a difference, goes early, but it just comes off the outside of his boot.
Go back. Where you are, stop! Stop!
Yeah, like even the bounce over the sideline, they would have settled for that. At least it would have been a 20-metre game. Instead, full set here.
Let's go. Wait! Go.
Jason Demetrio looks a little uncomfortable. Hetherington. Played every game for them this year. Jack Hetherington, a little sneaky stat on his involvement. Now with Daniel Saifiti to play it. Crossland. Gamble, right to the line. Clune. Fitzgibbon. He's turning, we couldn't pass. 20 away, 3 tackles into the set. They're ready to go. Elliott, Hetherington, one-handed offload. Clune, Knights, Gamble, then Frizzell. Getting a little closer. Another pressure set for the Rabbitohs defence. Where does Ponga chime in? Yet to see him in this set. Out the back it comes. Oh, that's a let-off. Cook races through, picks it up for the Rabbitohs. Big let-off there. Graham to bring it back. Mitchell heavily involved. Latrell Mitchell. Ilias on with Milne.
Adam off the ball.
Things settle down for the Rabbitohs at 8-0. Tallis Duncan, he's a good one. He gets caught high. This is only his 6th game. I reckon we're going to be calling him in his 206th. He's got a big career ahead of him, Tallis Duncan.
Yeah, he sure has, and I've seen him in space too. He's got some. He can really get along. He's got a good pass selection. This year, obviously, his first year in NRL. He'll be fine. Just slipped up Hetherington. He explains to the trainer, there's nothing wrong with me. I know the score.
Yeah, no, Sunday. My name's Tallis Duncan.
And I'm not coming off.
That's it. He's answered all the questions. Read his lips. He's 10 out of 10. Totola is out there straight away. So has missed the last 4 games. They have any impact in the finals. They need Tavita Totola on deck up front. Cook. And then for Sele. So much stronger with those two coming back into the 17. This is South's big chance right now. Duncan and Walker dropping it off. Murray, again you see, he's on the knees, plays it. Knights defence not regathered. Duncan bounces off one. Referee's whistle blows.
Adam, we've got tackle 4. Got a no try. Can we
Mr.
review
Atkins,
obstruction, please?
there we go.
Yeah, it's very similar to the first obstruction. We go down, they have it to Totola, the lead runner. He just stops, he comes involved with Crossland, he takes Crossland out, and Duncan takes that space. And then he stays in the line. This will be a no try.
That has saved the blushes for Jack Hetherington. Because Jack, this is not...
Phoenix Crossland is looking to slide across.
That's not a
Tavita
particularly
Totola
good
takes him
attempt
out of
to
the
tackle.
defensive line, and Tallis Duncan goes through that space.
No
Have a
try.
decision.
And Jack may survive a roasting at the video session on review later this week.
What Duncan does do for South Sydney, that he comes on and he can be that first receiver, which frees up Cam Murray, and Cam Murray becomes that ball runner, as you saw, and you called, Vossi, that he's so quick with the play of the ball. It was actually too quick, and South's other middle man couldn't get into position to run the next play.
It's just amazing. Just sit back, you're watching the Fox League coverage, and it is just a very subtle area, but watch how many times Cameron Murray stays on his knees when he's tackled. So he's up quicker than any other player. Outside Feedy with the ball.
He's so strong that obviously the opposition can't twist him and get him over onto his back.
Now pushing along, third man on the field. There's a pretty handy middle forward as well. He'll play his role. Crossland, here he is, man, straight into the play. Gamble caught up. Walker gets strong on him there. Two feisty characters, Gamble and Walker. Good on the verbal. Man taken low down by Duncan, who loses his headgear for the 2nd time today. He's thrown it away. He's had enough. High ball. Here comes Young. Bats it back again. Side feety. No. We've got a push in there. Well, 10 metres, in fact. The call. Hello, Latrell and Tyson. And then Gamble gets involved. Well, that was tomato sauce odds. Nothing doing there. South Sydney have the penalty. Hello, what's going on a little longer? I don't think Tane Milne from the opposite wing has any business to be across having a crack at Dominic Young. Is that fair observation, Shane? Your winger from the far side?
Yeah, well, he's run right across, and obviously the touch judge will pick it up as we get...
Boy, oh boy, this has gone a lot longer than it needs to. I think 4 have picked fights now with Dom Young.
Dom, you stay here, don't go anywhere.
Okay, Dom's been called out. So, there it was, Latrell. Ball in the head, sort of. So that's all it needs to be. It's Latrell and Tyson. Then Walker comes in at Gamble. Gamble goes back, and somehow Dom Young ends up the villain in all of this, and they come at him from all sides. And as I say, Tane Milne's run 65 metres to be involved in that.
Yeah, and he should be the one that's penalised. Obviously, I see Latrell not happy with the way Tyson Frizzell throws the football, but all the other bit is just a carry-on.
Well, it is, isn't it? Tallis Duncan wants a piece of Dom Young. Isaiah Tass wants a piece of him.
because there's so many involved.
Let's have a listen to Grant Atkins.
You're born with the responsibility of taking back the message, right? Penalties here for offside kick chase. That's nonsense. Agree? Agree? Cody and Latrell you talk to. Dom Young, Tyson Gamble you talk to. Off we go.
Basically, Grant Atkins is saying in a veiled sort of way, I could have sin bin 24 of these there, but I'm not going to have one-on-one.
Mate, I've had plenty of stuff thrown at me in 25 years of refereeing.
That was nonsense.
Yeah, it was. I know there's a lot at stake today, but to have all 26 players engaging over near the sideline. Okay, 8-0, Mick Litt. Who takes the next carry and what happens? Hook for seven. They get back to business.
Well, Tane Mills should have come across from the other side of the field and carried on play one.
Yeah, if you're that wound up, take the next run. Here's Totola. 40 away from the line. I know one thing, if Souths are to stay in this contest, they can't play 10 minutes with 12. Walker and Mitchell. He up again. Gamble hangs on. Gagai, Ponga. 20 away. Murray. Centre field, Sele again. Well, they've got themselves in position. They've had 11 tackles inside the Knights 20 so far. No points to Rabbitohs. Duncan without the headgear. Good tackle Crossland, but over the top was Mann and penalised. And Duncan again. Duncan now has got a confrontation with Kurt Mann. Is it Gordon Tallis or Tallis Duncan? I'm not sure.
Yeah, a bit of both. That was a great shot underneath from Phoenix Crossland.
There on the line.
No shot at 8-0. They'll go for a shot at 6. Kaloa Matangi. Now Cook. Power play to Tola. They almost got it wrong again with the lead runner South. Duncan pulled up in the line. Now Cook. And they'll go again. Sele. Cut in half, low down. Crossland over the top, wrapping his arms around the ball. Sele suggests he got it on the beak. Now Cook, right side to Tola, Ilias, Graham, they're riding him left shot over the sideline. Have a look at Bradman Best. Gee, they're fired up.
Yeah,
the Andrew John stand, they're going delirious.
It was a really good piece of defence. We see Best. We see a lot of trust there from Marju as well, that he doesn't turn in and come in and help Best. He stays on his man and just trusts that he's got the leg speed to get to Campbell and push him to the sideline. A real good piece of defence. Then the both outside men for Newcastle Knights.
Well, seriously, Shane, can you believe what you see, how good this is from Newcastle? Like, in all the areas they have improved on where they were at earlier in this season.
Yeah, ball control, defensive systems, and then obviously, they're classy players when they get at the right field position, coming up with the right plays, as we see the offload and Adam Clune taking the tackle. But they're a footy team. They've got belief, they've got trust in their processes and systems, and they're winning football games, and a big crowd behind them.
It's a good mix. Now Crossland. Man, I don't think anyone wants to play Newcastle at the moment. This is very much the cauldron. Hetherington to halfway. Got a pretty good seat watching on Fox League this afternoon, mind you, as well. And on this run, they get back to business, the Knights. Away. And the kick from Gamble. Mitchell looking where he can get the leg back. He can't. Well, he couldn't stretch any further, could he? I felt a twinge in the hamstring and groin when he stretched back that far, and I'm calling the game. Here's Tass.
He stretches back that far, but still handles the catch at ease.
Look at him get that leg back. Could not have tried it. That's right. He made it look a very easy catch. I would say that's the technique you want to do on a regular basis. Oh, wow. Kurt Mann. Kaloa Matangi. Duncan, Walker, Murray. That's on the edge, did well. Last tackle, oh boy, Mitchell and Cook got caught up there. So Cook now, they've got to come up with a plan C. It's a pretty good plan. Johnston, over the sideline he goes, but gee, Cook's your dummy half and Mitchell almost pushed him out of the way.
And we see Daniel Saifidi. This is why they're leading. We watch this big hit. Oh, really good contact, dual contact from the two Newcastle players, Mann and Crossland. And then we see on last plays, they go down the short side to try and create an opportunity. Damien Cook. But then we see Sofidi, front rower, just getting to where the ball is, just in case, and push him over the sideline.
Inside the final 4 of the first half, it feels like it's flown by. And highly entertaining, a little bit of simmering tensions as well, but as we highlight Newcastle, the forward, that's a hospital forward pass from Amanda Sofidi. Now Crossland allowed to continue. Clune, Fitzgibbon, Ponga's away again, Marju's away again! Hat trick with a capital H. Greg Marju. Sunday fun in Newcastle. Sun's never shone brighter.
Oh, what a team effort. We spoke about last tackle play for the South Sydney side. They ran it, and they get pushed over the sideline. Sofidi getting to help, and then they come down this left-hand side again. Clune throws the ball to Fitzgibbon, and he does this so often. He backs into the tackle, finds support that pushes through the line, and he finds the right man in Kalen Ponga. As we watch it head on the end on, just what block with Fitzgibbon backs into the play, finds his support player in Kalen Ponga, and he comes up with a beautiful pass for his wingman. Just stalls on his run to put the defender, Tallis, off, but that's a beautiful pass there. That's the one, that's a money pass there. Does it go forward? Well, the referee didn't think so.
Well, I thought the one earlier in the set did. Here's the finish of Marju. Locked in his second career hat-trick. He got a hat-trick back in round 13. Try confirmed. Hat-trick v Manly round 13. Our first half hat-trick against South Sydney when all our focus had been on Young and Johnston. He's stuck up with 3. Greg Marju.
And what a time to score. Just in this last 5 minutes, they've been under a fair bit of pressure. South Sydney trying to get some field position, but the Newcastle Knights defence too good. And they make them turn over the football right on halfway line, and then they strike just before half-time. Real important points. And if Kalen can get this 2 points, they go in with a pretty nearly close to perfect first half performance.
And Ponga looking for his first success of the day, and he's swung it across the face again. It's the only flaw, really. Today, Ponga is 0-3. Let's go through the hat-trick of this imposing figure. Greg Marju on the wing. 3 tries. He's now got 3 tackle busts today to add to the season tally, which is 133 now for the season. And that last try, the Knights' 99th of the year.
Well, when he gets into the dressing shed, he should go straight to the drinks counter and get a couple of drinks for Kalen Ponga, because he's thrown the magic pass on all 3 of them.
That's nice. Did he pick up a pie for us as well at half-time if he is doing the waiter service? Knights at 12-0, could have been worse with the goal kicking, of course. 12-0, it's important, but certainly nowhere near insurmountable in the modern day. Now Mann back with Hetherington. He was having a fair bit to say even before he was tackled. Campbell back off to Frizzell. Speed of the play is impressive by the Knights. Crossland and Mann. You know, utility player, modern day middle forward. He slots in. It's almost like he's running the show. Comes off the bench. Ponga barely touched it and goes 50 on the full to Mitchell. So not that Mitchell's playing badly, but the Mitchell v Ponga show is Ponga on top. Mitchell's had some big numbers as well. 6 tackle busts, 3 offloads. It is superstar time, superstar today.
And Vossi, I think that goes for the whole South Sydney team. I don't think they've played poorly. It's just that Newcastle Knights have been pretty close to perfect. And a 12-0 scoreline is not a bad thing for Demetrio to get him at half-time and just say, hey, listen, you're playing against a footy team that's playing really good at the moment. At home, we just need to be better in this second half and find 2 or 3 tries.
Yeah, that's a good point. Knights, we've actually got the Knights missing more tackles than South in the first half, and yet It is the Knights with 3 tries next to their name. Cook takes off. Through goes Walker. Exciting play. Ponga on Walker. Still going. He beat everyone. He beat the referee even. And then Murray throws it over the sideline. That was some run by Cody Walker. There is a heap of footy still to come in this one. This is a Sunday afternoon classic on Fox League. The Knights in front of a full house are on top, but the Rabbitohs are not about to go away. Half-time, Newcastle leading South Sydney by 12 points to 0. 12-0 scoreline here on the Sunday ticket. What happens here? As we highlighted at half-time, Michael Ennis, Luke Keary, Braithen Astor, the completion rate of South Sydney. That's the area that needs to improve to give themselves a chance. 9 of 17 in the first half. Has to be better. But outside of that, they've created chances, some line breaks. They missed 5 less missed tackles than the Knights in the first half.
Yeah, and the execution on their try line. Twice they've gone down there and just mistimed their lead runners and handed over the football in really good field position and haven't put the Newcastle Knights under any try line pressure.
Fitzgibbon late back onto the field. He was actually physically ill in the tunnel. Lachlan Fitzgibbon, and straight from the kickoff, Hetherington has come up with a tackle. Dallas Duncan's fired up today. There's, oh gee, you know, the semi-finals around the corner. There's so much at stake today, the way this is being played. Jack thankfully didn't give it the round to the kitchen there, the swinging arm.
Yeah, but he's come away with 2 of them, and it just gives the opposition energy. I know it's the start of the second half, but he's come up with 2 poor penalties.
South Sydney on the run. Lead first points here. Almost got the last points of the first half with a Walker bust. To Tola. Over halfway he goes. It's hard to believe, given some of the sparkling attack from the Rabbitohs, that they are 0. That is the rack for the Knights. It'll be something if they keep them there. Ilias, Walker, now for Mitchell. Does he pull the trigger on a pass? He doesn't, not yet. Hanging on as Gagai. He goes another 10 metres, Latrell Mitchell. Play the ball, didn't get a foot anywhere near it there. It was allowed to continue. Duncan, Ilias, Kaloa Matangi, left foot fend, or left hand fend on Clune. Cook, back to Ilias, bomb from 12 metres out, short of the line, the leap was good. Tass missed it, that guy got it. It's as simple as that. Now for Young. And then he doesn't play it. He lost it. Well, this is a big call. Do you challenge? Do you challenge 2 minutes into the second half? Do you trust your winger? Dom Young, he's let the captain know. And the captain is not responding, Shane.
Yeah, well, the captain might have had a good view of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It is the right decision in the end.
The trombone said
15
no.
seconds.
Yes.
The conductor, most importantly, said no.
That's right.
Because Ponga's the conductor.
In this team, he surely is.
Yes. So the string section get it wrong in South Sydney.
Head in, fuck off.
About to go on the attack.
Hold. Break.
Set up. Left side, I've seen that before. Cook runs straight over. Clever from the Rabbitohs. Sold at Newcastle. They had the big strike players on the rights, and Cook scores round close to the burrow of the scrum.
Yeah, well, you've seen it before, Bossy. We've all seen it before. Damien Cook, we know how fast he is. They sell it that they're going to get out and shift it out wide, and they just take their eyes off the football, but put it down to his speed. He just gets out, shows to the outside. Tyson Frizzell, I think, the back rower, just can't get there quick enough. He just shapes to go left and just comes back to the right-hand side. Frizzell just can't get there and have good contact on Damien Cook, and he pushes his way over, and you're exactly right. We've seen that try before.
Only his 3rd try for the season, but it must be very hard as a defensive unit when you see Walker, Mitchell, same side. You know you're thinking, well, they're probably going to go the old switcheroo the other way, but I've got to be, you are second guessing.
Yeah, and Tyson Frizzell, which watched plenty of video during the week, all their scrum set plays, get out of that scrum quickly, and he's just balked for a second, and it cost them.
So Mitchell, hits the upright from beside the post. Can you believe that? My goodness. He could have kicked that with a pair of hotel slippers on, and he shanked it into the posts. You know those fluffy slippers?
I do.
You might have picked up a pair on the Auckland trip. At least Latrell can smile. Bang! Ponga's 0 from 3. Mitchell is 0 from 1. That is a sensation. Latrell, he can't believe it. How did I miss that?
I thought if he left the kicking tee on the ground, it might have come back onto the kicking tee. That's a valuable 2 points they missed.
Is it what? Now from the restart, we've got a false start. 12 points to 4. We'll head to Darcy in a moment for the halftime report on what coaches said. South's feeling a little better about things now. Latrell won't want to see that one back, and he won't want them to lose by 2, let me tell you. Sele on the run back. All right, let's go down to Darcy McDonald. What a start to the second half.
Well, Knights coach Adam O'Brien won't be happy with that start because he actually singled out Damien Cook in his halftime chat. He said they need to clean up their ruck and keep an eye on him because he is dangerous. He also said the Knights need to push up on the football a bit more and just reset and go again. As for the Rabbitohs, Jason Demetrio spoke about the importance of their first 5 sets, getting their defence right, and he can see there's opportunities with the ball, but they just can't seem to ice them, so they need to fix up their completions.
It's an amazing kick when you think about the way it came back. It came straight back at him. They could have been falconed by his own kick. That would have been a moment. On a weekend where we've had Appy Coruscant bang one over the crossbar from the sideline. And then Mitchell misses. Oh, Ponga's been caught high. Campbell Graham and Tane Milne there. Ponga's okay. Nothing to worry about. I wouldn't have thought about possible HIA, but this is all it was. Got him round the neck, chin. Made look worse when he was dragged back to ground, but it's enough to incur the penalty there. Make your target a little lower. 12-4. Best. Just 5 carries in the match for Bradman. And on to Daniel Saifi. Matt Croker, the one player who didn't see any football in the first half. Saliba Havili yet to have a minute for the Rabbitohs. It's Knights work for Young. Either Young or Johnston get a try. That will be very surprising. Gamble in for Hetherington. 6.5 into the second half. Crowd a little quieter than they were in the first half. Gamble waiting for the home team to kick-start. They may do it here. Ponga again doing his dancing in front of the defence. Crossland, last tackle. Clue will look for Young. Here he comes, Dominic Young. The bat, he's thrown well, it's only forward by about 11 metres.
Hand over,
I was going to call him the bat-back specialist. And that time he got his bearings all wrong on the pass.
And if you have a look at the first half from South Sydney perspective, with Mitchell, Host, Murray, Duncan, they're all low run meters and actually low in their carries. They've only had 5 and 6 and 3. That's a credit to the Newcastle side. The way they've handed the football over, they've made their back 5 work harder than their middles and made their middles chase the football to get carries because they're all low in their meters and their runs.
Rabbitohs, good carry there. I'll run the gauntlet on the commentator's curse, but they're 4 from 4 to start the second half, Souths. Drastic improvement. Now Cook able to make another 12 or 13 metres. Thought he may have won a penalty there. Back it comes to Ilias. Wasn't the best service. I think the players are onside. Up they go. They've got the ball back. Murray will try and keep it alive. He's done that. Sele does the same. Now Ilias. Now Kaloa Matangi. Ambitious flick. Out for Mel. Loses the ball. Best saves the try over the top. Oh, that's thrilling rugby league.
We'll have a look at this tackle over the top. It's a try saver. Comes in contact with his arm, actually not the football. Bradman Best gets there just in time. What about the pass from Koloamatangi? Flick, a big back rower running at speed and a flick pass 20 metres to his winger.
Chant goes up again. Lachlan Fitzgibbon. He's had some really big defensive plays. He was the low man, low down tackler there on Milne, and then Best finishing off.
He saved one in the first half as well, too, Vossi. 2 try savers, and then obviously being involved in the late offload to Kalen Ponga for one of the Marju tries.
Brazil on that run back. Knights reset, go well. Man, this is good stuff. 9 into the second half. They are a really good footy side, Newcastle. Crossland, Clune, fanned and running. Last tackle, Knights. They'll come left, Crossland, Ponga, pass, Best, offload on the bounce, Souths intercept, tiptoe, back for Graham. Back-to-back sets, thrillers in the corner. How good is that? In the space of a minute at opposite ends.
Oh, some great football, some great skill by both sides. Newcastle chancing their arm, running it down the left-hand side through Ponga. He throws it to Marju, who's been on fire, but Latrell, look, he just stays in, gets rid of the football. That's class.
So Rabbitohs back with the ball. Possible to predict what happens next in this. Havili with it. Can't help but think that Mitchell Miss is going to come back. You can make excuses for all the Pongas. They're all out wide, but Mitchell's was a gift. Ilias, big bomb. It's moving away from Ponga. Good catch off balance. And he'll just submit there. 12 out from his own line. Good set, South Sydney. We're going end to end at the moment.
He's just opening it a little bit for Damien Cook. The last 2 sets, he's got some good metres out of dummy half. They've handled it in the end, Newcastle, but they need to be wary of him coming out of dummy half and finding some support.
And coming up on Fox League this afternoon, Raiders and Bulldogs after this one. Sunday night with Matty Johns, by the way. And about the boxing Wednesday night too, Nikita against Jack Brubaker Wednesday night. You watch it live through main events. A big week on Fox League, throwing in some terrific boxing as well. Brubaker's got history with the Zoo family as Gamble kicks from inside the 40. He's already got 140-20 this year. Johnston able to knock that one down. So back comes Alex Johnston. Souths are inside their 20. Mitchell across, Milne. Haven't got enough of him with Saifiti. Now for Graham, clipped there by Best. 3 tackles, done and dusted pretty quickly there. Murray with it, Walker, now Tass, inside, Johnston. Good tackle, Gamble. Walker, off from marker, Johnston, offload, hosts. Oh, good tackle at halfway. Hello, I'm Leo Thompson. Back for Ilias and a bomb. Walker. Is he going to be the player? Well, that takes a left-hand turn and over the sideline. Cody Walker, good but not great in the game just yet. Can he lead South Sydney right back into this?
Well, he surely can, because he's a class player, but the reason that he hasn't been that involved at the moment is because most of the South Sydney sets have coming off their try line. When Cody's at his best, it's when they get down in the opposition's 40, get some good dominance, and play the ball.
Here's Marju. 3 tries first half. The steamroller downfield and standing his ground. Mitchell does enough. Greg Marju. How would you stop that? Now Crossland, Gamble, Frizzell. Knights fans willing their team to a 4th try here. It's only play number 2. Gagai from dummy half, set restart Knights. Now there's a full set to go. Frizzell goes back short side. Frizzell is held up short of the line. Gagai, I think, is thinking he'll have a crack himself. No, clears the ruck. Gamble. And man can't get through there to Tola. Koloamatangi Crossland try and crash their way over with Saifiti. Rabbitohs have to produce their best goal line defence of the game. Crossland and the Clune and Ponga, a floating pass over the top. Marju stopped himself there. Losing the footing. Best. Last tackle. Clune. Kick. Here comes Young. Here comes Dom. That is a catch. Johnston, look out. Johnston's off. Back up to the 20. Will run back, knowing that Young was well behind the play.
Well, he's still back on the 20-metre line. We just see him there getting back on side. Just a kick a little bit too long into the in goal from Clune. Gives the opportunity for South Sydney to get back into some good field position.
Still ends up a big win for Johnston to get a leap there. 14 into the second half. It's been 14 pulsating minutes. Cook, as Flano predicted, taking off. Clune just got him there. Kloamatangi, Ilias, centre field, Murray. Oh, a little bit short, very flat to Havili. Zella legs tackle. Now Ilias off a quick play the ball. It's only the fourth. Walker, chip over the top and chase. Young, is he taking it dead or not?
No, I think South Sydney played it back into his legs. They'll look at it through the bunker as they're setting up.
Here it was, that bounce there. You're prepared to say it touched the dead ball line. Newcastle will get a 7-tackle set. Walker kicking before the last. South still trailing by 8. Newcastle, we told you at the top, they haven't won 7 in a row in over 20 years. It's an amazing start. Saifiti, awesome side through the middle. So Marju's gone up the middle. Now Daniel Saifiti's gone up the middle. Ponga out for Young. Here we go. Young's on his way. Tom Young back into Ponga. Was it forward or not? Referee said play on. Ponga caught. Awful play the ball. Awful play the ball. It's a shambles, all of that. Frizzell saying sin bin, penalty, something. Knights will keep the ball. What has happened here? This is a twister game gone wrong. Gamble will play the ball after 45 seconds. Across to Mann. Falls into the tackle. Got away from Havili. Kept alive. Clune and Fitzgibbon. Getting back to it. How did Ponga not score? Crossland in front of the posts. 2 tackles left. On the charge with Thompson. Knows what it's like to score a try now. Not right there. Crossland. Last tackle. Poke. Saifiti, the big fella, has scored even with some interference.
Coming into 6.
Clever. Phoenix Crossland
try if he drags him back.
For Daniel Saifiti to score. One of the homegrown heroes.
Well, we have a look at how they got into this field position. It's through a Kalen Ponga run. Dom Young goes down the outside off a Kalen Ponga pass. Kalen Ponga gets it back. It just gets pulled up short. And then, as you said, twister gone wrong in this next play of the ball. South Sydney players everywhere, and they can't get a quick play of the ball. And then a really smart play. Phoenix Crossland just comes out, threads the needle, gets it through his big front rower, who comes up with a big catch, coming at speed. That's a great work from the front row, and doesn't he love it?
Oh, that is a play. A kick for your front row, who copped interference from Ilias. And Saifiti still enough to score. Just his 2nd of the year, his 16th of his career. Big smile on the face. The entrance Tigers Junior scoring here.
I was watching Phoenix Crossland approach the play of the ball, and he approached it really square, and I thought for a minute there that he was going to have a shot himself and go from dummy half. But what he was doing, he knew that he had a front row leading for him, and if he could just thread the needle with the right kick, it was an opportunity at least to get a repeat set. Comes up with a try. Really good play from, I think, one of the most improved players in the competition, Phoenix Crossland.
Little things in the game. So the ball boy has to hold gets the honour, hold the headgear for Mr. Ponga as he takes a shot, looking for the first goal of the day. Kalen Ponga has finally done it. The Knights have their biggest lead of the day. Newcastle 18, Souths 4.
You've got to tip your hat to the man that set that try up, Phoenix Crosland, because he has slotted into that number 9 jersey seamlessly while Jaden Brayley recovers from an ACL injury. Crosland has been a bit of a Mr. Fix-It for the Knights for the last couple of seasons, but is now proving to be a real key member of the spine. He was a halfback in his younger years, but has become so comfortable at hooker this season that he believes this is his future. It's at dummy half, and his stats certainly back that up. He averages a team high of 34 tackles and sets up a try there for Daniel Saividi.
So Souths not at the desperate stage yet, but they just have to score next. Shane, we are going back in your day. Front rowers on the end of kicks, pretty rare.
Yeah, and dummy halves. We had the Benny Elias, probably there wasn't a lot of dummy halves that kicked out of that field position. You left it to your halfback, but it's just the way the game's evolved. We see 7s going to 9 now. Felix Crossland's done a great job at it. But the front row, the ability to get through and the skill just to handle that kick and regather and get it down.
Just on the Knights, just to temper some of the celebration. Lachlan Fitzgibbon's gone up the dressing. Oh, there's forward pass. Crossland to Thompson.
Damien, you're offside and he has to get around you.
And so offside before the forward pass, so Knights get the penalty. If Fitzgibbon was ill coming back for the second half, and now he's off.
Well, they get lucky there, Newcastle Knights. It definitely was a forward pass, but the referee had ruled that the markers was not square. When things are going good, they go really good.
Yeah, 21 minutes away from their 7th straight win. And the Knights, they will be on 31 points after today. With 2 games to play, the Newcastle Knights. Incredible stuff, the way they've turned their season around. Now Crossland on for Gamble. And they have the Sharks to play next week. And then the Dragons in the final round at Cogra. They're to home again next week. Clune, Thompson, got through 1, got through a second. Here come the Knights. I think you're going to hear the Newcastle chant in a moment. Crossland, Clune, Fenelong, Campbell, outside, Gagai, close to the sideline, Young, contained, but only just. Last tackle, Knights for Gamble, another poke there, Mitchell loses the ball, the Knights have got another one. Mitchell lost it, he went out the back door, and the Knights have scored. The bunker can review it, but I think the challenge on Mitchell is okay.
And which they bunker will. The referee's made the right decision. Once again, they go through a nice little kick foot through there, and it's a chase. Oh, well, Latrell was making a play at the football, and Adam Clune comes up with a possible try here. But it was just the pressure they'd been putting this South Sydney defence under.
I think it hits Atkins' leg here, doesn't it? It does, hits his knee and stops. Oh, look, I don't think the ball was travelling fast enough to go to a South player, but I think we've averted a major controversy here. It stops the ball.
Yeah, well, surely I think Cody Walker's the closest there. That if it doesn't come in contact with the referee, does Cody get there first?
I'm going to say no, because of the way it's travelling and the distance Walker's away. But I'll say again, if that was moving fast and you lock in a try, boy, oh boy, unleash the hounds for controversy. Bunker is watching it closely. Nothing Kalen says here can sway what's going on.
Well, if the ball touches the referee, it doesn't matter. In my idea, it doesn't matter. It needs to come out and play that play again.
Yeah,
it can't be a try.
And it would be Knights with a ball, territorial advantage. Yeah, I'm with you on that argument, Shane. I am with you.
It's touched the referee.
A try's been confirmed, but if you argue it from the context of any slight interference from attacking side on defender, tries disallowed. Well, this is interference from referee on the defence, trying to stop a try.
I'm not sure of the rule, but common sense would say for me that play needs to go back out into the field of play. Tackle 5, start it again, because it's coming. The ball has come in contact with the referee.
Oh boy, rugby league.
By how much? By how small? Or how big?
Yeah, but if it's just blanket rule, ball touches referee in goal in particular.
Yeah.
You know, like wow.
It might have spun to the left or spun to the right. We don't know.
It stopped the ball, though. So, he's not having a good day with the boot, Kalen Ponga. He's 1 from 5. It's 22-4 with 18 and a half to go. You're watching Fox League at home right now. You be judge and jury. Make a decision. Should we go with what Shane is suggesting? Should this be replay the play? Ball hits the ref and pulls up the ball.
Yeah, I just feel that it has to be. If it's out in the field of play, I think that's where it would go. We go to a scrum or we go and replay that play. I just don't think we should be allowing, as I said, to make a decision on whether the try, if the referee, the contact was enough. It touched the referee, so full stop. We should go back and replay it.
Well, Leslie, he's going to have a ratings winner on his Monday review tomorrow because we talked about mid-air tackles. What should we do? There's another one there. What should we do?
Don't start me on mid-air tackles.
Sorry. It's a bit raw. Great run, Thompson. Knights are 18 in front here. Here's Crossland. And then Gamble. Frizzell. If South drop their heads, Knights will absolutely put this side to the sword. And some of their defence lately too, their past 8 games, they've only conceded 12 points in the final 20 minutes, the Knights. So where is South Sydney going to get through here? Ponga kicks high. Raiders and Bulldogs still to come today on the Sunday ticket. High ball for Johnston. And the Rabbitohs on play 1-15 out from their own line. Now with Campbell Graham.
It was one of their 3 targets we saw before the game, is their kick chase plus their first 3 tackles on the back 5 for South Sydney, and I feel they've done a really good job of that. Obviously Latrell getting the ball to him and then making sure those first 3 tackles are dominant.
I'll tell you the word from the bunker in a moment too. They were saying it only glanced the referee, didn't affect the play, was the ruling, and that is why they've gone with the balance of probability that Knights score. We'll leave it at that, discuss it later. Now Ilias bombs from 20 or 35 metres out. Ponga's underneath it. Well, all bar the goal kicking, Ponga's having a great game. Now for Dom Young. 16 and a half to go. The Rabbitoh season, the Roosters are riding the Knights hard at the moment. They got the whip out. Luke Keary. He's got the whip out. In the Fox League studio. Roosters South's last round, it could be anything. It could be the wild card eliminator of all eliminators.
Well, there's always going to be something. South Sydney and Roosters games, doesn't matter what time of the year they are. But I saw that at the start of the year and I said, wow, South Sydney versus the Roosters, it's going to be important no matter what. For someone, it's going to be important.
Because as you know, Souths have the bye next week. So there's 2 in the bank next week, regardless of what happens here. Now Mitchell with the ball. Oh, Mitchell, they run up on him. And they make the tackle. He's a competitor, isn't he, Kurt Mann? He's had a really good contribution off the bench for the Knights. That is the Rabbitohs run home. The bye and the Roosters. And the Knights are back here next Sunday against Cronulla. Good luck getting a ticket. Must be a sellout. We'll see it here on Fox League. There's now the ball. Rabbitohs, Walker for Tass. Doesn't find Johnston. Good tackle, Gagai. Johnston, bludger of a pass on the bounce to Walker. Ilias, Murray, cut-out ball. Mitchell, good defence, one-hander. It's anyone's. Kalamatangi kept it alive. Ilias now. Rabbitohs can't pull a rabbit out of the hat. I think they pulled a hat out of a rabbit. And it's an error from the Souths.
They'll challenge here.
Coming into tackle 5, got a captain's challenge. Live decision of knock on South Sydney.
I think they might be right. I think we might see Newcastle playing at the football. Marju.
At this point, there's 2 in the tackle. Greg Marju's left hand comes up under the ball and strips it out. Challenge is successful.
15 to go. Now we've had games. Most recently in Perth, Souths go bang, 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 and are back in the game at 26-0 down.
Oh, you know,
Can they do it?
With some of the players they've got in their team, they can do it. They just need to get this first try as quickly as they can and put some pressure on the opposition, get them to worry about the South Sydney strengths.
And in all those times where they put the points on quickly, Walker is the catalyst for so much of it, with Mitchell the sidekick, if you will. Havili on the run, 22-4, 14 to go. Cook, 10 away. You're watching it live on Fox League. Murray to Mitchell, it's the other Mitchell! Shaq has gone over! What about that? Don't worry about Latrell, who's he? That's amazing. The big young fella, he's just barreled his way over the line to score for South Sydney, keep them in the contest. He's as fired up as it can get, but Shaq Mitchell has scored his first try in the NRL.
Yeah, it was Cam Murray ball playing. He actually carried the ball on tackle 1 from the penalty, and then he backs it up on tackle 3, or tackle 2, and goes forward just on the outside, gets Clune involved in the tackle, and he's just too big and strong from that field position, pulls his arm out, his right arm out of the tackle.
Kick from his brother. Latrell, 98 tries. Shaq, 1, but it's an important one. Darcy on the sideline.
Well, with Jaime Sally and Junior Totola returning today, Shaq Mitchell was at risk of being dropped, but the coach simply had to find room to keep him in the 17 after an outstanding performance last week. Mitchell has one of the most inspiring journeys in rugby league. He came to the Bunnies in 2021 after shedding 51 kilos to achieve his lifelong dream of playing first grade, and today scores his first NRL try. And boys, an update on Lachlan Fitzgibbon. He has suffered a shoulder injury. He won't be back and will be sent for scans next week. Also, Kurt Mann, he's picked up a sternum injury. He has been checked out in the sheds, but he is likely to return.
Okay, so a little bit of adversity for the Knights to deal with all of a sudden, but 22-10 is the margin.
Yeah, any team with Cody Walker, and we spoke about the Mitchell factor. We didn't think it'd be that Mitchell, but they can come back here. They're still in this game. Newcastle Knights players and coach and fans will be very nervous.
Well, this Cauldron deserves a big finish. It's been a great afternoon so far. It is 5 tries to 2. Keep that in mind. They need to get one more, and they probably need to do it sometime in the next 3 or 4 minutes, the Rabbitohs. Now Cook, post on the run, back over the 30. Most of all, they could ill afford a drop ball. Their completion rate overall is still only 66% for the game. Murray to Ilias. Here's Mitchell. Latrell's turn. Latrell sends Milne away. Keeps in field. That's well done. Didn't risk a pass. Kept in the field of play. 4 tackles down. Mitchell. Murray. Rumour. Oh, Murray doesn't pass. Walker screaming for it on the left. Last tackle, South Sydney. They've gone 80 metres. Ilias, they're going to run it. Walker came off a leg. Knights have got it. Walker was at pinpoint when they needed it most.
Yeah, it was good defence on that last tackle. We see Dom Young come out. Every time they can turn them away, Newcastle, they're a little bit closer to pulling off a big win. But once again, this South Sydney side just throwing everything at them. This remainder of this game, this last 10 or 11 minutes, they'll be pushing the pass from sideline to sideline.
Raiders and Bulldogs next up on Fox League. Cracking contest. The 2 fullbacks here today. Mitchell's had 11 tackle busts and 4 offloads. Ponga's had 4 tackle breaks, 3 line breaks, 2 try assists. What a battle between 2 of the best. Johnston. Play 1. South's inside their 40. 11 to go. 22-10. Knights have only won 2 of their past 14 against the Rabbits. Here is Cook. Now the arrow. Crossland again, another tackle. He's 31 for the day. Ilias out the back. Walker bobs up on the right. Mitchell lost it, and away goes Best. And all of Newcastle are running with him. Bradman Best, hands and heels all the way to the line. McDonald Jones Stadium erupts. Best sprints away off a Mitchell error.
Well, he's been outstanding. Bradman Best made his origin debut, and he comes up. He didn't have to do a lot bar sprint off and 60 or 70 metres, but South Sydney, they had to play some football, and obviously this pass just goes out, he drops it, and Bradman Best just there, beautiful bounce, and he always had the speed to get there, and that'll be the try that gets this Newcastle Knights side home.
I think this shot's going to prove this is a golfer walking up the last hole of a tournament with a 5-shot lead. The tongue goes out very early from Bradman Best. Look at that. He's 50 from home. Have a look at him. He's that strong. He's carrying a whole city to the try line. What a moment with 9.5 to go. It ain't over, but it's a big step towards securing the win.
Yeah, I know one person that wouldn't be happy with that early celebration is the coach. Get there, put the ball down there and have your celebration.
Ponga to kick for 28-10.
South Sydney had to change the style of football. Obviously, they needed to score points and then they needed to shift, where Newcastle just needed to defend, and they did exactly that.
So there it is. The Rabbitohs try is snuffed out. Newcastle 28, South 10, 9 to go.
Well, Knights coach Adam O'Brien said pre-game Bradman Best was annoyed about having to sit out last week with an adductor injury, so he was looking for a big game, and he's certainly delivering a try assist, 125 metres and a try to go with it. And all the fans are up on their feet, all 29,000 of the Novocastrians here to cheer on their side as they chase their 7th straight win.
Look at the fans. So good to see. Some of the most passionate fans in our game here in Newcastle. South's on the short kickoff. Ponga's there! What a catch. He's come down Ruben Garrick style on the catch. He's okay. What about the defensive stat of Souths? So again, it haunts them at the moment. Since round 11, conceding on average 27 points a game. The mid-air tackle there on Ponga was done by a teammate. Now Crossland. They might just finish this off with some exclamation marks, the Knights. They're playing that well. This is a side to be reckoned with. Crossland. And now Thompson on the ground. Ponga realises nothing doing on the bouncing ball. Last tackle. Get ready for a kick Dom Young's way. Clune across. Steady and ready from Gamble. Young is ready, up he goes. It may have glanced Host's leg. Play on, Mitchell onto it, offload, Host support. Rabbitohs back over the 40. 8 to go. Need 3 converted tries. And now Long again. Oh boy, on the bounce to Milne. It was ragged, really ragged. Graham, Dallas Duncan back into the fray. He's dispensed with the headgear in the first half. It was pulled off twice. And now no more. Cook with a try already. Standing, offloading. Play on the call. Mitchell right across to Milne. It was too hard. His finish was good, but he'd already put a foot on the sideline. They're trying every trick in the book, the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, they are, and as we said before, they've got to chance their arm and throw the football around. As we see Latrell just going for that long pass. And it's just the pressure of the scoreboard. South know they need to score, and sometimes that plays in both ways. Newcastle Knights, just there for a minute before they scored their last try, were defending that way. They weren't defending like they were earlier, controlling the ruck, and South Sydney were getting a bit of dominance. But the Bradman Best try sort of put that out a little bit. And the pass over the sideline from Latrell, just not what they wanted.
Well, the Cowboys, the Eels, the Seagulls, they all feel, they were all a chance game this round. Souths have dropped the game on 28 points. It certainly appears that way. Only the Roosters have made up ground from those teams outside the 8. And the Knights have given themselves some breathing space. There is the live ladder. Newcastle, how are you feeling? You're up on 31 points. Raiders still to play this afternoon against the Bulldogs. They could finish the round 6, the Knights. Walker, Winston Payne there. Crossland, Ponga. Inside the final 6 now. A lot of football between now and next Sunday, but I can't wait for the Sharks and the Knights next week. Sharks are back in form. Knights, full house. It's a brilliant theatre for a Sunday afternoon. Souths now. Tass.
Yeah, with just over 5 minutes to play, we talk about the loss of the Newcastle halfback, but they've just got on with the job. Adam Clune just done what he's had to do, defended pretty well, but the way the Newcastle side has functioned, they haven't missed Jackson Hastings at all.
Well, 6 tries. They started today 96 tries for the season. They've gone to 102, the Newcastle Knights. We'll talk about the points that the Rabbitohs have conceded. The Knights are just on fire.
And that's not a knock on Hastings, it's just the way the systems and the processes have been put in place for the Newcastle side. They know how they want to play and they've got a style now. No matter who comes in, they just get it done.
It's the most points they've averaged per game in a season in 20 years. What Newcastle are doing, 25 points. Mitchell, it's all got a bit tough, hasn't it? From the moment he hit the post with that shot. Because his contribution today, sometimes you say, oh, Mitchell doesn't get involved enough, but that is certainly not today.
He's tried hard. He's touched the football a lot of times. His involvement's been outstanding.
That highlights next Sunday. Knights and Sharks on tries scored. 2 of the top 3 teams going head-to-head here on Fox League Sunday. The curtain raiser next Sunday, Canterbury and Manly at a core. Clune with it. Goes across. Best a flick. Maju looking for 4. Tackled 10 away from the line. And a penalty as well.
It's on report.
And Tana, well, straight away.
It's on report.
Ill discipline there. I mean, the game is going and you get involved like that. Tane Milne for a drop of the knee.
It's on report. One.
Just a quick look at it again. And it's just, like, that's just stupid play. You can call nothing else there. Saifidi onto his back.
There'll be a fine in the mail for that one, I think.
Crossland, Clune, then Jacob with the ball. Be something if the 2 brothers could score today. There's the Newcastle chant. It'll haunt the South Sydney players. Crossland, Daniel wanted a double. Caught by Duncan and Kaloa Matangi. Crossland along, oh, Clune over his shoulder. Ponga goes back for it. And finished off by Milne. So Knights still with 2 tackles left. This time with Jacob. Last tackle. Surely there's a Dom Young try somewhere. Kick for Dom. Well, they're thinking field goal. They are. Clune. And he smashes it between the posts. And he's kicked it out of the trotting track. That's putting an extra point in grand style on it. Adam Clune, first NRL game for the year.
Yeah, he's a smart footballer, as I said. He was at the Dragons. He was a smart player. He could get the team around the park. He's gone up to Newcastle. His first year, he played a lot of first grade. This year, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but you need, if you're going to be successful, you need players like Adam Clune in your club, and when they get that opportunity, they take it with both hands, and that's what that young man's done today.
29-10. It's a great score line. 6 tries to 2. Ball comes back for the Rabbitohs. Play on Duncan. Kept alive. Murray and Host. Host with it. Put in a bit of a Kalen Ponga goose step for a moment. Then loses the ball. Penalty against the Knights. Stripped away.
Yeah, Tyson Gamble. He knew exactly what he was doing. Tackled the football and just pulled it out. Gets his side back on the try line. 13 in the line.
Murray and Duncan. It's also with a healthy for and against. But they are on the odd number of points after the draw earlier this season with Manly. Mitchell held up there. So it's unlikely that points differential will factor into Newcastle's position inside the 8. Unless we have another 90-minute draw in the next 2 weeks. Here's Cook. On to Duncan, offloaded, they lost it. And when they run into each other, they come up with the right play. Now Frizzell, back at a rate of knots. The Knights want another one. The fans want another
send this
one.
off, G.
Now we've got this road twister gone again.
I'm sending
They're
it
not
off.
playing by the spinner. Oh, hang on a second. A send-off. Grant Atkins has said here.
Tell me otherwise if not, G.
It comes from earlier, Vossi, when Tyson Frizzell threw the ball at Latrell.
Okay, get ready for this. We have a big moment in the final minute here. Grant Atkins has showed his hand already.
Latrell
Mitchell,
get off, get up.
he's off to the pen for 10. No explanation, just off you go. Well, virtually none.
Look at it, just go and go.
Watch it again. And there is elbow to the back of the neck, if you will, from Mitchell. Are we going to hear more than just sin bin, Shane?
Gee, we're
Well,
right.
is it
I
a
think
sin
it's push
bin
and shove
or
up.
is it just a straight send-off?
We're right to move on.
I think it might just be a straight send-off.
It's on report.
On report, and 10 is the call from Atkins, but now the match review committee, they have the bye next week. South's next game is Roosters' last round.
Oh, look, I don't think there was much in it, to be honest.
No, there wasn't.
It was a bit of a... Tyson Frizzell didn't even react too much to it.
No, but if he had made contact with the back of the head rather than it appeared high up on the back, I wonder what the review committee would rule. Halfway, it's a sour end of the day for Latrell Mitchell and for the Rabbitohs. Croker on for some late minutes for the Knights. What a game we have. What a race to the finals we have here on Fox League. Saifidi, let's say, no Newcastle fan is left here. Have a look at the crowd still in. One more. Give us one more try. Crossland, Gamble, Ponga, he might deliver. He gets it away for Gagai. Setting sail, doesn't find the mark. Ponga's onto the ball, and again tackled on the last. 6 metres out. You can't say they didn't have a crack at scoring. Milne again involved in the play. And Newcastle can celebrate. And look at Kalen. Who doesn't want to be back here next Sunday when the Knights play the Sharks? For the first time in over 20 years, Newcastle have won 7 in a row. This is a football side you just have to watch. And believe me, every team in the finals race is keeping an eye on the Knights. Great to have them back at the pointy end of the season. Full time, Newcastle 29, South Sydney 10.